Typically, when it comes to modern Lego minifigures, it always seems like people just always have that one problem that really, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too terrible, but according to them, it's just completely awful and ruins the figure. For example, this Marvel figure has no leg printing. These clones have helmet holes. The new Jedi Bob figure is not in the old browns and greys. Blue Lady is way too tall. This guy, okay, I've already talked about him. Nixonites just simply exists. However, there's always this one theme that I've always seemed to notice that people just don't really have as much of a problem with as opposed to themes like Star Wars or Marvel. And that is, well, Ninjago. Probably because the entire fan base has a high range. Wait, what was that? What? Whoa, whoa! Ninjago is the best Lego theme ever made. It is my favourite Lego theme of all time. Ignore the fact that I don't have a lot of Ninjago sets behind me, because Ninjago is so epic. I love Ninjago. Go watch Dragons Rising Season 2, Part 2. Now look, I'm not going to act like I'm better than everyone else watching this video, because I've also been a Ninjago fan since 2012, I think, at this point. These are all of my Lego Ninjago minifigures. As you can see, it's quite a lot of them. But today we're going to be talking about what is, in my opinion, the most overrated Lego minifigure in my Lego collection. This guy. Now look, before you send your death threats in the comments section below, I'm going to explain why I personally think that Dragons Rising Cole, or in general, just the Dragons Rising variants of the ninja from Crystallized, is, in my opinion, the most overrated Lego minifigure, or minifigures, ever made. And I have quite a few reasons as to why. Now, I'm just going to quickly give a 360, and at first glance, the majority, I kind of just believe this is a pretty solid figure. And I mean, if you believe he's, like, a good figure, honestly, I kind of, like, I respect your opinion, because it is a very detailed minifigure, I'm not gonna deny that, but I really do not think he is the best minifigure ever made at all. And, like, around the time these figures came out, people were saying that these were, like, CMF quality, which we'll get to that in a moment, but I'm just going to start off with my main reason as to why I don't like Dragons Rising Cole. And it's mainly because these Dragons Rising variants of the ninja are basically a combination of two different niches of Ninjago figures that I've just grown really tired of. The first niche, as you could say, I only have two of, technically three, but my original Golden Ninja Lloyd is, he's seen better days, but we have the golden variants of the ninja. Now, I think they've made them, excluding the 10th anniversary suits, I think they've made it for three ninja, I want to say, Lloyd plus Kai and Zane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, basically, they're just these golden variants of the ninja, and originally, I'll admit, they were really cool and felt really special to me, because gold is, well, a very high-class, shiny color. But Ninjago just really overdoes gold, especially nowadays, where, like, literally everything is just plastered with gold. I don't know why. But, like, it's literally like an ancient pharaoh's treasure trove at this point. But, yeah. And, like I said, for the time, it was really cool. I know this is from 2019, but, like, this is still a decent figure, and even, yeah, the 10th anniversary Lloyd figure I have, he's also a really detailed figure, but, like, this was around the time where gold was feeling a lot more common, not just in Ninjago, but in other themes as well, because Harry Potter had, like, the 10th anniversary gold figures, which they're still doing gold figures to this day on a technicality, but, like, I don't know if it's just become completely desensitized to gold as a color, but it feels really overused in themes like Ninjago, and I've just grown really tired of it. And of course, Dragon's Rising Coal uses a whole lot of it. Um, and honestly, I just think it looks really distracting. I know gold's a big part of Ninjago's identity, but like, when the rest of Cole is all about like, Earth and his elemental power, just the gold, I just find it really distracting, especially when the gold print doesn't even match the gold of the plastic. Um, so yeah. The second niche I've grown tired of is, well, the elemental burst figures. I have about 4 of these, excluding, golden coal, but, this is the oldest one I have, NRG Kai, who is the most common one of the, 4 original NRG Ninja, but this was a honestly revolutionary minifigure for the time, for Ninjago, because it's an elemental burst of the main ninja. Like, he's completely just embedded in fire. I think whether these minifigures have aged well is kind of up for debate, because, like, it looks better in person, but on camera, it just looks really bland. But I still really enjoy this figure, even if the dark red is a little bit subtle. And soon they'll follow it up with the Jitsu, SOG Spinjitsu, Force-Bidden Spinjitsu, and a whole lot of others that I honestly refuse to buy. But generally, I just feel like, okay, NRG Kai was cool when he came out, but like by 2019, which this is the latest one I have of these like gimmick powered up elemental versions of the ninja, they just feel really repetitive after a while. I mean, how many like powered up variants do we need? In fact, hold on, I'm gonna check Brickset real quick. Alright guys, excluding Kai FS, or Forbidden Spinjitzu Kai, let's see how many Kai variants there are that are all Super Saiyan powered up, undefeatable. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they all look like the exact same to me. Now, since I'm not really a huge fan of gimmick sets, I don't really have a lot of these, thankfully, because, I feel like I'd probably go crazy after a while if I collected, like, every single gimmick variant that only half the ninja have. But just having another one of these is just really redundant, and like, combining that with, like, the golden ninja aesthetic, it just gets really tiring for me, personally. And, honestly, I'm just at a point where I'm just wondering how people are not tired of this. Now, you may argue that, like, for me personally, I'm just, like, oversaturated, but for a young kid, this is perfectly fine. But, like, there are some other problems I have with them. For example, the wings are absolutely ginormous, and like, I get that might be fun for like a little kid, but personally, I just find it really hard to display, or even just, like, store, really. Like, when I just have him in my Ninjago bin, he kinda just stands out like a sore thumb, and I literally have the Serpentine in here. So, like, I don't know, he just stands out way too much, in my opinion. Another thing that really bugs me about the wings is just how flat they look. Like, I don't know, there's just not really a lot of depth at all. They just feel like pancakes to me, personally, and, like, from this angle, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look that good. I'd rather they just, like, have a slight curve in there. Just so, they feel more like wings and less like tattered pieces of cloth, which these don't really look a lot like wings to me just because of how flat they are. They really do look like tattered pieces of cloth, or maybe even like corn chips or something. I don't know. Also, I can only speak for myself here, but his head wrap piece is very loose. Because just whenever, like, I put him in my Ninjago bin, a lot of the time, his head wrap just always comes off. Another thing is just, like, I understand that they can't necessarily, like, mold transparent torsos and hips, but just the decision to make them black when they could have done orange to match the hands, it just looks like he's wearing a leotard or something. I don't know. But it just does not look good to me. It looks really goofy. And frankly, I just really think this is truly one of the most overrated minifigures ever. And even when you say that this is CMF quality, okay, I kind of understand, because, like, these Dragon's Rising Dragon Power Ninja, they have a new door-molded head wrap, not to mention transparent arms and legs, but that's really it. When I think of CMF quality, I think of minifigures that do stuff that other minifigures don't necessarily do all the time, especially in the context of a theme like Ninjago. For example, arm printing is incredibly uncommon for Ninjago minifigures. This is something I'd consider CMF quality for me personally. Another example is Lord Ras, who not only has arm printing, it's a little hard to see because of the armor piece, but he has an exclusive head mold just for this character. So really, these two I'd consider CMF quality just because they do stuff that other Ninjago minifigures don't do, which is arm printing. This also has a dual-molded head wrap piece, so it just kind of feels a bit more normal. I know that, like, transparent arms and legs, okay, that might be considered CMF quality, but it's not like, going above and beyond, in my opinion, considering Chima did the same thing, like, years prior. So I don't know, I'm just not excited by these figures, and frankly, I just don't really love how they look, or really how they play, because these wings just look really just huge and distracting. Now, I'm not gonna deny the fact that A, I'm a grown-ass man who's talking about a show made for 8-year-olds, and B, I'm just not really a Ninjago fan anymore. Still, this is me just sharing my opinions, and honestly, I'd love to hear yours, so what do you think? Do you think these figures are the greatest Legos ever made, or do you actually agree? Or are you just a toxic Ninjago fan who refuses to listen to any opinion because Jay is so frickin' hot?
You don't need a soft mummy, GF! You need to see professional help!